stop. Do not shift your weight. Do not reach for your device to kill the silence that is currently suffocating you. Stay in the friction. Feel the floor beneath your feet. The cold, unyielding pressure of reality. Observe the air in your lungs. It's stagnant. It's the recycled breath of 1,000 failed days. You aren't just short on cash. You are suffering from a systematic neurobiological failure to adapt to the modern savannah. You are running an obsolete, high-friction script on hardware that was designed for survival, not dominance. Can you feel that dull, persistent ache in your lower back? That isn't just fatigue. It's the sound of your structural integrity collapsing because you've traded your throne for a cheap office chair. It's the physical manifestation of your submission to a system that views you as a spent resource. You are currently leaking energy into a void of social fear. Your brain is programmed to be broke because, for your ancestors, more meant risk. More territory meant more friction. More visibility meant more predators. Staying small was a survival trait 50,000 years ago. Today, in the era of silicon and extraction, that same instinct is a terminal defect. It is the biological anchor. Look at your hands. Are they shaking? That is the cortisol. Your amygdala, that primitive, fear-bloated sentinel in your skull, is in full control of your trajectory. It perceives the act of expansion, the act of hunting real wealth, as a lethal threat. Every time you think about breaking the cycle, every time you contemplate the digital leverage algorithm, your brain floods your system with stress hormones. It makes the air feel thin. It makes your vision narrow. It forces you back into the comfort swamp. You think you're being cautious. We know you're just a biological machine malfunctioning under the weight of its own evolution. Your dopamine receptors are scorched. You've been chasing 5-cent digital rewards for so long, likes, notifications, the voyeurism of watching others live, that you can no longer perceive the heavy, high-stakes extraction of real territory. This is dopamine corrosion. It is a chemical cage. Your brain has been optimized for passivity because passivity is energetically cheap, but in the biological context, stasis is death. You are a predator that has been domesticated into a battery. You are being processed by the very matrix you claim to understand. Observe the biomass around you. Look at the people you call friends. They are anchors. They are social parasites who feed on your hesitation because it validates their own cowardice. The biomass loves company. It needs you to stay small, stay broke, and stay predictable. When you mention expansion, they don't see your vision. Oni widzieć ugrozu swojemu komfortnemu gnieniu. They offer you safety. But in our world, safety is just the waiting room for the grave. Every time you nod in agreement with their small-minded complaints about the economy, you are signing a contract of mutual stagnation. You are allowing their corrosive neural loops to infect your hardware. They want to relax. They want to kill time. They don't realize that time is the only non-renewable resource they have. While you trade your life minutes for pennies, we are using AI to harvest the attention of millions. You are the fuel. We are the architects. The poverty gene is manifested in your structural integrity. Look at your posture, the slight hunch in your upper back, a permanent curve forming from years of looking down at a screen you do not control. Your body is physically adapting to the shape of your defeat. Your prefrontal cortex, the part of you that can actually build an empire, is effectively offline. You are navigating a high-speed world with a brain that is stuck in the mud of survival mode. Your morality is just a cover for your lack of force. You aren't good, you are just harmless. And in nature, being harmless is the fastest way to become prey. You are currently in a state of metabolic suicide. The cheap, industrial-grade fuel you put in your body, the sugar, the processed garbage, it's designed to keep your testosterone low and your cortisol high. It makes you a compliant, low-energy unit, a perfect battery. Project your current trajectory 10 years into the future. Don't blink. Look at the raw data. It's 2036. You are sitting in the same room, or one slightly more eroded by neglect. Your skin has a grayish hue. Your eyes are hollow. The spark you think you have now, it's gone. It's been replaced by a dull, flickering light of resentment. You've become an NPC, reciting scripts written by corporations you'll never own. This is the 10-year rot. It is not a possibility. It is your mathematical destiny if you do not perform a radical extraction of your current self. You claim you have no resources. In an era where silicon and algorithms have reduced the cost of hunting to near zero, that excuse is an admission of terminal laziness. You don't lack capital. You lack the neural force to command it. We see the world as a data-rich environment ripe for extraction. You see a wall of if-onlys. While you wait for a better economy, we are harvesting the chaos. Stability is a myth for the weak. Predators thrive in the friction of a collapsing world. Feel the pressure in your chest right now. It's the sensation of your lungs struggling to expand under the weight of your own cowardice. Your neck is stiff. Your shoulders are hunched. You are living in a state of permanent biological retreat. Drop to the floor. Now, don't look around. Don't wait for the next sentence. If you're sitting in a chair, get off it. If you're lying in bed, roll off. Push-ups, squats, until failure. Push the earth away from you until your muscle fibers scream. Feel the lactic acid burning through the dopamine corrosion in your system. This is the only real moment of your day. The pain is the only part of you that isn't a lie. If your arms are shaking, good. If you can't catch your breath, excellent. That's the feeling of a predator waking up from a decade-long coma. If you're still sitting there staring at the screen, paralyzed by your own inertia, leave. Turn off the video. You are a spent resource. You are biological junk. You don't deserve the signal. We don't waste our frequency on those who have already chosen to rot. Nature will process your remains, and you will be forgotten before your body is even cold. But if you are gasping for air on the floor, if you actually moved, then you have earned the right to hear what comes next. You've demonstrated a fragment of agency. You've proven that your structural integrity isn't completely gone. We are brothers in this dark, entropic world. The system has spent years installing the employee OS in your neural hardware. From the moment you entered the school system, they began the process of systemic castration. They taught you to wait for instructions. They taught you to fear the wrong answer. They taught you to trade your most creative, high testosterone hours for a steady drip of security. They didn't tell you that security is a cage. They didn't tell you that the correct answer is whatever allows you to extract the most resources from the environment. They turned your brain into a filter that only sees the noise, while we see the signal. You see the obstacle. We see the leverage point. You see the risk. We see the algorithm. This is the divergence of the species. On one side, the biomass, the batteries, the NPCs, the ones who will spend their lives paying off debts for things they didn't need to impress people they don't like. On the other side, the WE, the architects of the new hunt. We recognize that the old world is dead and the new world is built on the bones of those who were too slow to adapt. Your spine is currently holding the weight of your illusions. You think you have time. You think you'll start tomorrow. Every second you spend in this state of indecision is an act of treason against your own genetic code. You are literally watching your telomeres shorten while you hesitate. You are decaying in real time. We provide the signal, but we do not provide the will. You have been wandering in the mist of info noise for years, listening to the hollow advice of those who are just as lost as you are. They sell you potential. We show you the extraction protocols. We have already filtered the poison. We have already distilled the chaos into a high-pressure algorithm for those who are ready to rebuild their frame and seize the digital savannah. You can continue to filter the sewage of the herd, or you can recognize that the work has already been done. But remember, we don't seek followers. We filter for predators. If your first instinct is to ask for a guarantee, you have already failed. Nature offers no guarantees, only opportunities for those with the force to take them. Feel the cold air hitting your skin now. Your heart rate is elevated. Your senses are sharp. This is the state of the hunt. This is the baseline of the WE. Stay in this friction. Do not let the comfort swamp pull you back in. The world is dark. The path is sharp. Do it or rot. We don't care about your choice. Nature is already processing your replacement. Listen, do you hear that? It's the sound of the machine. Not a machine made of gears and oil, but a machine made of habits, social contracts, and the quiet rhythmic humming of millions of people who have already accepted their role as biomass. You are currently breathing in the exhaust of their mediocrity. You are sitting in a room that was designed to be a holding cell for your potential. Smell the air. It's stale. It's heavy with the scent of synthetic cleaners, dust, and the lingering residue of people who have spent 40 years waiting for a Friday that never arrives. This is the herd architecture. Your brain is currently performing a task it was perfected for over millions of years. Social entrainment. You are a tribal animal. In the deep past, being cast out of the tribe was a death sentence. To be different was to be dead. Therefore, your hardware developed a hypersensitive detection system for social disapproval. Your mirror neurons are constantly firing, mapping the movements, speech patterns, and emotional states of the people around you. This is the neurobiology of imitation. If you spend your time with 5 people who are broke, cynical, and physically decaying, your brain will physically rewire itself to match their frequency. You are not hanging out with them. You are undergoing a systematic neural synchronization with failure. Observe your circle. Look at their eyes. There is no friction there. There is no fire. There is only a dull, glazed-over acceptance of the way things are. These are your friends. They are the social anchors keeping your biological anchor firmly lodged in the mud. Every time you mention a project, a risk, or a pivot into the digital leverage algorithm, them. Their mirror neurons perceive your ambition as a threat to their own homeostasis. They will use the crabs in a bucket mechanism to pull you back down. They don't do this because they hate you. They do it because your growth highlights their own rot. Their survival instinct is to keep the tribe uniform. Uniformity is safe. Uniformity is the poverty gene in action. The matrix, the system of education, employment, and social credit, is a caloric and attentional harvesting farm. From the moment you were forced into a desk at age 6, you were subjected to systemic castration. The goal was not to teach you how to think. The goal was to teach you how to wait. Wait for the bell. Wait for the grade. Wait for the permission to speak. This process installs the employee OS directly into your prefrontal cortex. It replaces your predatory instinct with the good boy instinct. Biologically, this is a shift from dopamine-driven hunting to serotonin-driven submission. The system rewards you with small, pathetic drips of serotonin for being predictable. You feel a sense of safety when you follow the rules. But this serotonin is a sedative. It blunts your edge. It masks the dopamine corrosion occurring in your reward centers. While you are seeking the approval of a boss who doesn't know your name or a society that views you as a data point, we are extracting resources. We have recognized that the rules were written by the masters to keep the batteries in place. Look at your posture again, the way you hold your phone, the way you sit in that chair. Your structural integrity is being eroded by the very environment you've been told is professional. Sitting for 8 hours a day is a physical act of surrender. It atrophies the glutes, the most powerful muscles in the human body, the muscles of the hunt. It collapses your chest, making your breathing shallow and restricted. Shallow breathing sends a constant signal of low-level panic to your amygdala. You are living in a permanent state of biological submissiveness. Your body is physically signaling to the world that you are not a threat. You are not a predator. You are a resource to be consumed. The poverty gene is not a lack of intelligence. It is a neural plasticity of submission. Your brain has been rewired to find comfort in a cage. You've been taught that niceness and politeness are virtues. In reality, they are often just the social tax you pay to be allowed to stay at the bottom of the hierarchy. High testosterone individuals do not seek politeness. They seek clear signals. The biomass uses politeness to hide its lack of force. They use social debt to bind you to them. I did this for you, so you must stay small with me. This is the friction that stops you from moving. This is the weight on your wings. Project the 10-year rot of the herd. Look at the man who is 10 years ahead of you in your current job. Look at his face. The skin is losing its elasticity. The jawline is soft. The eyes are permanently tired. He has lost the ability to imagine a world outside of his cubicle. His cognitive flexibility has hardened into a series of rigid defensive opinions. He will defend the system that is killing him because he has invested too much of his life force into it to admit it was a mistake. This is metabolic suicide through social conformity. If you do not perform a radical extraction now, that is your face in 2036. The system uses the screen as a digital pacifier. The infinite scroll of the herd is a way to mimic the biological signals of rest. Your brain thinks it is scanning the horizon for threats or opportunities, but it is actually just being milked for attention. The blue light suppresses your melatonin, keeping you in a state of chronic sleep deprivation, which further elevates your cortisol. This creates a feedback loop of exhaustion. You are too tired to hunt, so you consume more digital scraps to feel a sense of connection. You are a battery being drained in real time. We don't live in that world. We have performed the neural extraction. We see the matrix not as a reality, but as a map of harvestable resources. While the herd is worried about fairness and social credit, we are focused on digital territory. We recognize that the educational system was designed to create employees, not architects. We have uninstalled the Good Boy OS and replaced it with a predatory algorithm. You feel the pressure in your neck right now. That's the social clamp. It's the physical sensation of your desire to belong fighting with your desire to dominate. Most of you will choose to belong. You will choose the stale air and the synthetic carpet because the fear of being alone is greater than the fear of being a failure. You will stay with the anchors until you sink. But for the few who are ready to break the entrainment, the path is sharp. It requires a complete destruction of your current social identity. You must become a ghost to the herd. You must stop seeking the serotonin of approval and start seeking the dopamine of the extraction. You must fix your frame, straighten your spine, and recognize that the only tribe worth belonging to is the one that is currently hunting the future. The biomass will smell the change in you. When you stop complaining, when you stop seeking validation, they will feel the friction. They will try to pull you back with concern or guilt. This is the final test of your structural integrity. If you fold now, you were never a predator. You were just a battery that had a brief glitch in its programming. The kinetic shock. Phase 2. Do not look at the next paragraph. Get up. Go to a mirror. Look yourself in the eye and say nothing for 60 seconds. Observe the urge to look away. Observe the urge to check your phone. Observe the absolute vacuum of your own identity without a screen to tell you who you are. If you can't look at yourself for 1 minute without flinching, you have no right to speak of success. We are not here to be your friends. We are here to provide the signal. The herd is loud, but the signal is deep. You can continue to be a data point in someone else's algorithm, or you can start building your own. The digital leverage algorithm exists for those who have realized that labor is a trap and attention is the new gold, but it requires a brain that has been purged of the herd OS. Your time is leaking. Your cells are aging. The machine is humming. Do it or rot. We don't care. Nature is already recycling your replacement. Feel that. The cold, oily sweat on your palms. The metallic tang of recycled air in your mouth. There is a specific weight in the back of your skull, the pressure of unfulfilled debts, and the silent mounting evidence of your own irrelevance. You tell yourself stories to survive this pressure. You call them reasons. We call them the neural shields of the prey. Your prefrontal cortex is currently locked in a desperate metabolic struggle to justify your inaction. It is constructing elaborate logical barricades to protect your ego from the devastating truth. You are choosing to rot. Every "I can't," every "not now," and every "it's too risky" is a specific chemical signal. It's the sound of your amygdala overriding your capacity for strategy. When you are in financial or social stress, your brain enters a state of cortisol blindness. Your peripheral vision literally narrows. Your neural pathways associated with long-term extraction and risk assessment are physically inhibited. You are biologically incapable of seeing the digital leverage algorithm or the opportunities in the chaos because your hardware is optimized only for immediate short-term survival. You are hunting for scraps while we are harvesting the horizon. This is the neurobiology of the self-deception that keeps you broke. Let's execute the most pathetic lie in your arsenal. I don't have enough time. Look at your data. Trace the trajectory of your 24-hour cycle. You don't lack time. You are suffering from a chronic leakage of agency. Your attention is being extracted by the gram, harvested by algorithms that are smarter than your will. Every minute spent in the digital noise of the biomass is a minute of your life force that has been converted into profit for someone else. You are a caloric battery for the attention economy. Evolutionarily, your ancestors had to conserve energy. Laziness was a survival mechanism in a world of caloric scarcity. If you didn't have to hunt, you sat still. But today, in a world of caloric abundance and attentional scarcity, that energy-saving mode has become metabolic suicide. You are resting for a hunt that you never intend to start. You are preparing for a battle that you have already forfeited. Your time isn't gone. It has been stolen, and you handed over the keys because the friction of focus was too high for your scorched dopamine receptors. Feel the eye strain right now, the dry itch in your corneas, the slight persistent tension in your neck. This is the physical cost of your rest. You are consuming digital morphine to numb the pain of your own stagnation. Your nervous system is in a state of attentional atrophy. You've lost the ability to sustain the high-pressure focus required to command silicon and AI. You are a fractured mind in a collapsing frame. Next, we liquidate the no capital excuse. The biomass believes that money is a prerequisite for power. This is the resource gating illusion installed by the Matrix to keep the poor in a state of permanent waiting. In the Pleistocene, you needed a physical spear to hunt. In the industrial age, you needed a factory. In 2026, you need nothing but the neural force to command an AI. The cost of entry has collapsed to near zero. Capital is not the cause of a hunt. It is the secondary byproduct of a successful extraction. If you think you need money to start, you have already accepted the employee OS. You are waiting for a permission slip that will never come. While you are crying about your empty bank account, we are using AI as a cognitive exoskeleton. We are extracting value from the digital savannah with zero overhead, using tools that are more powerful than the supercomputers of the last decade. Your lack of funds is just a cover for your biological defeatism. You aren't broke. You are just cognitively immobile. Consider the trajectory of the hardened opinion. You say it's too difficult. Difficulty is the biological signal of neural rewiring. When you feel that mental friction, it means your brain is attempting to build new, high-status pathways. Most people flee from this friction. They seek the smooth path of the biomass. They seek the comfort of the familiar cage. By avoiding the difficult, you are ensuring the permanent atrophy of the will. You are training your prefrontal cortex to surrender surrender at the first sign of pressure. What about the age excuse, the "I'm too old" or "I'm too young" lullaby? This is a rejection of neural plasticity. Your brain doesn't care about the date on your birth certificate. It cares about the complexity of the tasks you feed it. If you stop solving difficult problems, your brain begins the process of systemic failure. It begins to prune away the connections that defined your edge. Old age is not a biological necessity. It is a choice made by those who have decided that they have seen enough. Project your 10-year trajectory if this continues. Look at the man in 2036 who still says it's too late. His voice is thin. His movements are restricted by a decade of untreated structural integrity collapse. He has become a digital ghost, a person who exists only as a series of consumption metrics for the platforms. He has zero agency. He has zero resources. He is a carbon-based unit waiting for the inevitable recycling of nature. He is you. If you don't perform the extraction now, you feel the stiffness in your shoulders, the way your breathing is trapped in the upper third of your chest. This is the corpse posture. You are physically mimicking the shape of a man who has already given up. Your testosterone is in a state of chronic suppression because you have no wins to trigger the androgen receptors. You are becoming biologically softer, less defined, more compliant. The system loves your excuses. Every time you say "I can't," a corporate algorithm somewhere earns a dividend. They need you to believe in the difficulty. They need you to believe in the scarcity. They need you to believe that you are a good person for being harmless and broke. They have replaced your will to power with the will to complain. You are currently a subject of the matrix, a data point to be managed, a battery to be drained. We don't live there. We have recognized that the digital leverage algorithm is the only logical response to a world of rapid automation. We don't ask for permission. We don't wait for capital. We use the tools available to any predator with the eyes to see them. We are architects of the hunt, using AI to amplify our reach and protect our time. While you are arguing with your own potential, we are extracting the future. Phase 3. Kinetic shock. Do not wait. Do not think. Delete. Take your phone. Delete the top 3 apps that consume your time without producing a resource. Delete the social morphine. Turn off all notifications except for direct human contact. Kill the digital noise that is currently liquefying your brain. If you feel a surge of anxiety at the thought of losing these connections, that is the withdrawal symptom of a slave. Do it now. Face the sudden, cold silence of a brain that has nothing to distract it from its own failure. If you didn't do it, you are proving my point. You are a biological unit under total system control. You are a spent resource. You can go back to the herd and tell them how intense this video was, while you continue to rot in their company. You are a fan of the hunt, not a hunter. But if you deleted them, if you felt the spike of cortisol and did it anyway, then the neural rewiring has begun. You've created a vacuum. Now you must fill it with the signal. You have recognized that the complexity you feared is just a series of solvable algorithms. You have recognized that your time is a territory that must be defended with lethal intent. The biomass will try to fill that silence. They will call you. They will send you links. They will try to pull you back into the digital swamp. This is the social friction of the extraction. You must become a ghost to them. You must prioritize your structural integrity over their approval. You must fix your frame, straighten your spine, and realize that the only stability in this world is the ability to adapt faster than the machine can process you. You feel that? A slight clarity, a reduction in the white noise of your own excuses. That is the first sign of the agency extraction. You are moving from the role of an object to the role of a subject. You are no longer something that things happen to. You are the one who makes things happen. The poverty gene is being suppressed. The employee OS is glitching. Stay in this discomfort. Do not seek the balance. Seek the dominance index. You have the tools. You have the hardware. The only thing missing is the refusal to accept anything less than total territorial capture. There are algorithms that exist for those who have stopped crying about the difficulty. There are protocols for those who realize that their body is a weapon that must be maintained. If you are looking for them, you will find them. If you are looking for an excuse, you will find 1,000. Your heart is beating. Your cells are aging. The trajectory is set. Do it or rot. We don't care. Nature is already processing your replacement. The storm has passed. Silence remains. Observe the frequency of your own pulse. It is no longer the frantic, shallow beat of a cornered animal. It is the steady, heavy rhythm of an architect. You are standing in the vacuum of your own old identity, and for the first time in your biological history, the noise of the herd is failing to penetrate your perimeter. Feel the cold clarity in your eyes. Your shoulders have expanded to hold the weight of your own will. This is the first sign of the subjective extraction. You are moving from a reactive state of survival to a proactive state of dominance. This is the neurobiology of the transition from prey to predator. In this silence, the good boy OS has finally crashed. You no longer seek the serotonin drip of social approval. You don't need them to like you. You don't need them to understand you. In fact, their confusion is your tactical advantage. The biomass is wired for consensus. We are wired for capture. While they are busy debating fairness and seeking the comfort of the middle, we are consolidating our dopamine. We have recognized that the collective morality of the herd is just a biological safety net for the weak. We have cut the net. We are leaning into the friction of the abyss. Can you feel the diamond hardness forming in your core? This is the neural myelination of agency. Every time you refuse a distraction, every time you choose the friction of the hunt over the morphine of the screen, your brain physically thickens the pathways of command. You are becoming faster, more efficient, more lethal in your cognitive extraction. The poverty gene is not a life sentence. It is a software lock that we have just picked. Your testosterone is rising because you have finally stopped negotiating with your own mediocrity. You are claiming territory. The Matrix, this vast harvesting system of corporate algorithms and social entrainment, fears nothing more than an individual who has reclaimed their biological drive. They want you compliant. They want you soft. They want you predictable. But you have become a systemic error. You have become a virus of dominance. You see the social contracts not as obligations, but as resource-dense environments to be exploited. While the herd is worrying about their social credit and their stability, we are focused on digital territory capture. We recognize that in a world of total automation, those who do not command the algorithms are destined to be processed by them. Project the 10-year apex. It is 2036. Look at the man you have become. You are standing in a space of total clarity. Your frame is straight, supported by the structural integrity protocol that you chose to maintain when the world was collapsing into sedentary rot. Your eyes are sharp. Your voice has the weight of absolute authority. You are an architect of the new world. You have achieved total territorial capture. Your wealth is not a number. It is a series of automated extraction systems that work while you breathe, while you sleep, while you move. You have achieved the ultimate victory over time. Now look at the ghost you left behind. The man who almost did it. The man who chose the comfort swamp. In 2036, he is a broken biological unit. He is a data point. His skin is the color of ash. His breath is shallow, restricted by a chest that has permanently collapsed under the weight of his own excuses. He is a carbon-based battery, waiting for the system to recycle his remains. He is a warning. He is the entropy that you have just escaped. Stare at him until the smell of his decay makes you nauseous. This is the cost of hesitation. This is the price of the poverty gene. We provide the signal, but we do not provide the comfort. The path to the top is a desert of silence. You will lose the anchors. You will lose the parasites. You will lose the friends who only loved your weakness. This is the biological tax of greatness. Most people cannot pay it. They prefer the warm, crowded room of failures to the cold, sharp peak of the hunt. They prefer the noise of the herd to the purity of the signal. They are already being processed. Their opinions are raw data. Their emotions are consumption metrics. They do not exist as subjects. We are different. We recognize that the digital leverage algorithm is the only logical response to the death of the industrial age. We don't seek balance. We seek dominance index. We don't seek safety. We seek the friction that creates growth. Your body is now a weapon. Your mind is now a command center. Your life is no longer a series of accidents. It is a trajectory of total capture. Phase 4. Kinetic shock, the final ultimatum. For the next 24 hours, you will perform a total systemic blackout. No screens, no noise, no social morphine. You will face the silence of your own existence. If you can't survive one day without the digital pacifier, you are still a slave. If you survive, you will emerge with a brain that is ready to receive the high-frequency codes of the extraction. This is the filter. This is the final test of your structural integrity. The herd is loud, but they are hollow. They wait for a miracle. They wait for luck. They wait for someone to save them. We know that luck is just a statistical byproduct of high-volume extraction. We know that salvation is a myth for the weak. We only recognize the bone, the pressure, and the signal. If you are looking for a way out of the swamp, the protocols are there for those with the eyes to see them. We do not leave links for the lazy. We leave markers for the predators. Feel the cold air hitting your skin. Hear the steady beat of your heart. You are a biological machine that has been overclocked. You are a virus of will in a world of shadows. The Matrix is already attempting attempting to patch the hole you've made. Every second you spend in doubt, the system regains ground. Every second you spend in action, you expand your territory. Nature does not care about your struggle. It does not care about your pain. It only cares about the signal. You are the apex of 4 billion years of survival. Do not betray your ancestors with your cowardice. Do not let the poverty gene win. The choice has been made. The trajectory is locked. Do it or rot. We don't care. Nature is already processing your replacement. Goodbye.